and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 23 today, and we are absolutely flying. As you can see, we're guaranteed a top 6 place finish as we go to Hearts in the final game before the league split. We thought this would be crucial in terms of securing our definite avoidance of a relegation battle, and we're actually 24 points clear of them and already safe. It is a remarkable achievement. We have had the longest new manager bounce I think I've ever had in this series, and we're flying. I'm loving it. I'm really looking forward to it. We've got a Scottish Cup semi-final to look forward to against Ross County as well, as we're trying to chase silverware too. I mean, we're only 2 points off Kilmarnock in third. We're chasing the opportunity to be best of the rest. And it looks like Dundee United are going to sneak into the top 6, so we might have another derby as well. It could not be going better, but if you're looking forward to today and this dreamland start, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. This one with Dundee, where we've just been given an opportunity of a lifetime, and we are taking it and grasping it with both hands. Bangor City, the Builder Nation save, where Season 3's perhaps not gone quite so well. And then our live stream series, which is of course with Dundee United, the bitter rivals, as you guys voted for in your numbers. But let's go and have a look at how we've got to this position. We are missing January signing Irving today. We've had a few little injuries as well. Jordan Roberts just coming back from a long one, the left winger. Jakubiak as well we're struggling with. And we've had a few low knees that have been ineligible. But we have been stunning. So you were with me for the 1-0 win against Dundee United. Since then, we've drawn one, we've lost one, we've won the rest. That includes games against Rangers and Celtic, where we got 4 points from the 2. It includes beating the likes of Motherwell and Hibs and Aberdeen and St Johnstone. I mean, it's honestly been the most remarkable spell I think I've ever had this early in a career. So let's take you through the fixtures very quickly. We had a 2-0 win at Inverness in the Scottish Cup 5th round. McGrath and Thompson for a rotated side with the goals. A couple of youngsters getting in there as well. We've got a youth intake to talk about too. A 3-2 win away at St Mirren. It was Morris Chalmers. We got pegged back to 2-2, and then Scott Pittman in stoppage time with a screamer. He nicked us the 3-2 win. A 3-1 win at home to Motherwell. Again pegged back to 1-1 after Sean Burns' early goal, but Morris and McPake with one apiece. Away at Rangers, it was Carlton Morris who got the equaliser. Very much one of my favourite players of this series so far. A 1-0 win at home to Hibs. A late goal from that man again. A 2-1 win at home to Falkirk in the Cup quarter-final. Jakubiak and Thompson as we got through there. A 2-1 win away at Aberdeen. Carlton Morris brace. You guessed it. A 1-0 defeat at Kilmarnock, but they're third. It's really not a shame in losing that one at all. A 3-1 win at home to Ross County, McGrath with a brace and Logan Chalmers, before back-to-back 1-0 wins away at St Johnstone and most remarkably at home against Celtic. Josh McPake with a winner against St Johnstone, and at home to Celtic, that man Carlton Morris. His 16th league goal of the season, a sublime turnout really. It's not even started every game up front. He's third in the scoring list for the league after just Hiwula and Ian Acho, who's at Celtic. It's a pretty incredible performance. And we're in 5th place, guaranteed to be in the top 6 after the split. Potentially in Europe. I mean, if we look at the rulings here, 3rd place guarantees the Europa League playoff. 4th place guarantees the 3rd qualifying round of the Europa Conference. And 5th place may get the 2nd round, depending on the winner of the Scottish Cup. Now, as you've seen, we're in a quarter-final against Ross County. So as long as we win that, presuming Celtic get through in the other one, we're going to be in Europe next season if we finish 5th. And the only team that can stop us doing that by the looks of it are Dundee United. So this could be one hell of a climax to the season. But what a turnaround. What a chance we were given to come to Dundee. And I guess we've proven that they've made the right choice. They've got a really good squad. They're improving all the time. There's of course the 2 boys that are prepared to join in the summer after being pre-agreed by Jay Hurd in January. We've had improvements off the pitch, which we'll talk about in a minute, and a youth intake that's got some good news in as well. So largely it wasn't great, there's some average players in there, but there's one big standout. And that man, as we go down a list here, is Craig Milligan, a 17-year-old left midfielder. Doesn't really suit the tactic we play at the moment, but he's got time to improve and adapt. He's electric quick, he's 1.5 star ability, 4.5 potential, and again, has the chance to be a really good pro. He's an absolutely fantastic young player still, and there's a few others that were decent. I mean, the likes of Reece Wood being an example. So it certainly wasn't a bad intake, and one bit of gold dust perhaps. But also, while we're on the youngsters, if we look in the reserves, some of our young stars are coming to the party now. If I put them in ability order, we've got David Carmichael, a young keeper, 2.5 ability, 5-star potential, really improving quickly as a young keeper. And looking back at the under-18s, Josh Archibald at 18. He's played a couple of games for us this season in the Cups, but he looks super. I can almost see him being a first-choice regular next season, certainly involved in the squad. We've got Clark Robertson coming in, but he could be a good backup centre-half. We're not convinced by Rossi. It doesn't look like the director of football's giving Mugabe a new deal, and he's had injury problems anyway. So this might be my man. I'm really looking forward to working with him, and I think we found a home here for the sort of mid to long term, and we'll probably stay here until we get a big opportunity, and that may be in England, that may be in Europe. But for now, we're settled at Dundee. And if we go back a couple of weeks, there's even more good news. An increase to the youth recruitment from average to good. An increase from the junior coaching from adequate to good. An increase in the number of coaches allowed by one. There were scouts allowed on top of the ones we already had, and one's been brought in by our director of football. That man is David Brown, an Englishman on £500 a week. He's got good knowledge of England, Scotland, a little bit of American knowledge, and he's also got a decent judgment. I mean, it's all seeming a bit too good to be true here at Dundee, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like it's going too well, and I'm just waiting for the crash. It has happened at various points in different saves on and off camera this year, and when it does happen, it seems to be hard to retrieve. But for now, we've got to make the most of every minute. It's going to get tough in the top 6 as we play Celtic and Rangers again, as we start to have games closer together. But these 2 matches today could be stunning. So let's go and get into the first one as we wrap up the standard season in the Scottish Premiership before the league split. And we already know we're going to be in the top 6. It's absolutely incredible. Ryan Hardy there being closed down, former Plymouth man on loan last year. And this is the 11 we've gone for. It's Chapman in goal, McGee and Marshall the fullbacks with Akinola and a Doffin centre-half, Alejandro Rodriguez, Gorin, Byrne and Pittman the midfield 3, McPake Chalmers on the wing and Carlton Morris up front. Chalmers back in, so he'll be a winger on support, and everything else is solid. Bar Irving rotating with Byrne, we know our first 11 hands down. And that's it. We've got some good subs on the bench if need it. The likes of Roberts just coming back from long-term injury now as well. I'm so confident with this Dundee side. So let's go and see what they do. Into the first half we go, and into the first game of the day. Can we get a strong result against Hearts, who have been battered by Hibs last time around? They've lost the Edinburgh Derby. Surely they'll be like a wounded tiger. And here are the lineups. Some good players still for Hearts. Grimmer's in there at right back. They've got the likes of Regan Henry, Sam Cosgrove and Hardy up front. Big man, little man combination. Jamie Lindsay's a decent player in there. It's not bad at all. Incidentally, when we played Celtic last time out, former Hearts youngster Aaron Hickey, he's come back and he's at Celtic now. Still only 20 and a wonder kid. He looks superb. Though he was at fault for the goal, ironically. 5 minutes in though, it's 0-0 so far. As you've seen from the results, we're not really dominating games. We're just staying in them and we're being plucky, particularly on the road. The last half an hour, we've scored so many of our goals. Such a frequently high percentage. And we've just got to hang on early on, as Grimmer throws into McDonald on the right. Hendry crosses and Akinola clears. And again, we're on halfway, just dealing with the pressure. Herring's forced back to the keeper, as Morris presses well. And Siuba brings it out to Halkett, to Herring. Time to bring it over halfway. Long ball forward, Akinola intercepts. Chance to go into midfield, Pittman down for Rodriguez. Lovely football up to Morris, and it's intercepted. Do you know what? It's not been the best start, but we've not been brilliant in any game. It's just tactically, we're so strong on the counter with McGrath or Morris, although we are behind here to Ryan Hardy. It's a good finish, and we don't concede many, so that's perhaps a warning sign. 20 gone, Hearts are on top, and of course they're scrapping for their lives down there. We have been dominant, it's their only shot on target. The stats would suggest we should be ahead, so maybe it's going to be one of those difficult days at the office, as it's into Cosgrove. He's offside, we've got away with one there. But 5 very disturbing minutes. I've been talking us up. I've been talking about how great we've been. But is the slide going to come live on camera? Here's McDonald. Into the front post. Halkett off the line by McGee. And this is the sort of moment where, like so many of these games, we've got to stay in it. We had a spell like this against Celtic last time out at 0-0. We've got to get to the break at 1. If we do, we can shout at them. We can probably turn it around. If they score a second, I think it might be a long day at the office. 5 minutes to the break. Aaron Chapman with a goal kick. Plays a 1-2 short with Akinola. Chapman goes long over the top. Morris flicks down. And here's Chalmers on the left wing. He's got an overlap. Instead finds Morris. Well held up by the target man. Finds Byrne. 2 over on the right. It's a lovely ball though. Oh, Morris tries to dink the keeper. Nearly beats him. It just goes over. And Siuba gets back to catch on the line. Really good play from Sean Byrne. But it remains 1-0 to Hearts. We have been the better side though, as you can see. So certainly no alarm stations just yet. Dundee United are ahead in their game though. So as it stands, we'll go into the last 5 with just a 3-point gap between us. And fighting for the last European spot, that could be crucial. As Marshall's got a throw on the left. 5 into the second half. Chalmers loses out in the tackle and Grimmer clears to McDonald. This is good from Hearts on the counter. They're doing what we do to so many sides. They're sucking up pressure and they're countering. And that is a stunning goal. I mean, we don't like losing. We don't like conceding. But that's a ridiculous goal from Anthony McDonald. What a strike from Hearts. 2-0 with 7 gone in the second. And I think we're going to end up losing this one. The only 2 shots on target we've conceded have both led to goals. So we're going to go positive and make some changes. Mainly to rest legs, I suppose. Byrne's going to be replaced by Regan Thompson. Or I think we'll take Gorin off instead. Byrne will go to the holding role. Up front, we're going to replace Morris, I think. He's going to be replaced by McGrath. And on the right, McPake's tired. So let's bring on Alan Forrest. 3 changes made. That's the lineup we're going for. And with 25 to go, despite absolutely dominating the stats, it looks like we're going to be beaten by Hearts. Well, that's it. Hearts have seen it out well. And I'm not quite sure how we've lost that. We were by far the better side in terms of stats. We had a lot of good work going on there. I'm going to thrash the arms around as they suggest just to keep them motivated. But I'm not actually displeased with the performance. We started last month with a defeat at Kilmarnock and it didn't really harm us. And with the Scottish Cup semi-final coming up, both just a week away, we've got to bounce back. So let's skip ahead a week. We'll be back in a moment for that one. And hopefully fixtures after the mid-season split. We're back for game 2 and a first chance for us to reach a domestic cup final. And a big one at that. We've got a very long injury list and a few positional problems. But aside from that, we're looking forward to it. Regan Thompson has picked up an injury, which may well put him out for the season. It's a fractured lower arm, but he's wearing protective gear, so potentially he could be in the squad still. We've got John Robertson out, Declan McDade, Scott Pittman's had food poisoning and isn't fully fit, Jakubiak the same, and a few others too. We've also got Andy Irving cup-tied, so we're a bit short in midfield, let's put it that way. But let's go and get into this game. It's a very important one for us. We have had the draw for the top 6 clashes in the Scottish Premiership and it's worked out perfectly. We've got the 3 toughest games first, then a crucial Dundee derby on the penultimate day and Hibs at home in what should be a crucial final day decider. So that could not be any better. Just 3 points separating us, Dundee United and Hibernian in 4th to 6th and then just another 3 to Kilmarnock in 3rd. It's perfect. It really is set up nicely. But today, we've got the bottom side Ross County, armed with Clark Robertson, who's joining us in the summer. And we're into the Scottish Cup semi-final. We know we're likely playing Celtic if we get through. They're up against Livingston. And we've got a warning because we haven't got 2 keepers in the squad. And I'm going to put Regan Thompson on the bench, even though he's got a fractured lower arm. So Crean, the backup keeper, will replace Lewis Strapp or Scott Wright. I think Wright. So the 11 is pretty much identical, I think. In fact, I think it is the same. It's just on the bench where we've had Irving out. Thompson's got a knock, but he's going to stay there. And a backup keeper as well. But the same 11 that was beaten by Hearts, but played very well. And let's see if they can do the same today. Hopefully, with a better result at the end of it. Here we go then. Former Plymouth manager Derek Adams in charge of Ross County now. Clark Robertson playing at left back, who will be on our side next season. So hopefully won't ruin our chance at European football. Connor Randall on the other side, not a bad player either. So this isn't going to be a walkover. They have improved since the new manager's come in. So let's get the lads motivated. We're unbeaten in 4 against them. So let's get into the first half. We're at Hampden, I think. It looks too big to be Ross County or our ground. So let's get into it and see what goes on. As Ross County are playing from the kickoff, there's a long ball forward over the top. Marshall brings it down at left back. Now, if we can get an early goal in this one, I'll feel confident. We don't often give up leads in terms of losing games. We've let in the odd equaliser, but generally if we get ahead, we don't lose. As Carlton Morris picks it up left side. Good ball in. McPake's there. And it doesn't even take 30 seconds. If you'd have offered me at the start, this is the one I wanted to win. And with 30 seconds on the clock, we are going. Is it going to be the Scottish Cup final? At the start of the season, when we took the Arbroath job to leave Brechin in the same division with 13 senior players, that transfer deadline day that was so painful, who thought we'd be doing this? As Morris has scored again! He scored a header from outside the box. It's a brilliant ball from Pittman. He's knackered, but he's put in a great delivery there. Morris with a guided header. And we're 2-0 up in 15 minutes. And Dundee will be in the Scottish Cup final. And as I was saying a moment ago, how on earth have we got here from where we started this season? I am astounded. Remember when we scraped that victory against Forfar? Remember when we were wishing Pat Nevin was back? Look at us now. Everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? As Akinola heads away. Let's not get too excited though. There's a long way to go in this one. If we can get a third though, I will party. As Pittman picks it up in the middle. To Rodriguez. To McGee. And that's why we weren't too worried by the Hearts game. Because the performance was good. And as long as that's the case, hopefully it won't go to a bad run. O'Hara on the left, intercepted by McGee, but it's back to Charles Cook. Robertson at left back, our future player. He's got the chance to cross here. Oh, it's a good delivery to O'Hara. Edge of the box, a Doffin gets him. No! He's given a penalty kick. There's a great tackle. Look at where the ball went. Oh, he's clearly won the ball there. And now we need Aaron Chapman heroics. Ollie Shaw steps up and it's into the top corner. And I think the referee just wanted to make a game of it because there is no way in a million years that was a foul. A great tackle by Hakeem Doffin. And we're 10 to the break. He's been punished unfairly. 2-1 to Dundee. Look at the expected goals. Ours is 0.10 from 3 shots on target. I suppose it was a header from outside the box, wasn't it, the second? As Pittman goes to McGee. Can we restore the 2-goal lead? It's a great first half of football. McGee on the right wing. Back to Morris. Chance to cross. Chalmers is there. Oh, it's a brilliant finish. The keeper gets a hand to it, but it's straight in off the crossbar. And Logan Chalmers, the former Dundee United man. What a finish. And he is endearing himself to these fans with a wonderful goal. At half-time, Ross County dominated the expected goals, but everything else is in our favour. And most importantly, we lead 3-1. I could not be happier with that display. So much quality from the boys. So clinical on the counter as well. The exact opposite of what we were at Hearts. So let's just keep these boys going for now. We've got that dilemma in midfield. Pittman struggling for fitness. Thompson not really fit on the bench. So I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. But if we tick down the minutes, if we can keep the 2-goal lead, I won't have to worry so much. I've got a warning about McGee being close to suspension, but let's worry about this game before we start that. As Charles Cook picks it up. Comes down the left-hand side. He's got pressure on him. Goes back to halfway to Donaldson, to Martin, to Magoma, to Wright on the right-hand side, ironically. Here's Martin over the top. It's a good run. Marshall can't get there. Right back to Randall. It's a good attack this from Ross County. Sustained pressure and O'Hara makes it 3-2, does he? Second time lucky, it bounces off the crossbar. And Ross County are back in it. Oh, I'm really struggling with this. I really don't like how tense it's become. The expected goals is over 2 for them. So they must have been great chances. And I went to make the subs, but they've got a corner. It's into Donaldson. Oh, it's off the line by McGee. How have we got to here? We were absolutely dominant and miles clear. The referee gave them a lifeline with a ridiculous penalty. And now we're hanging on for dear life. Byrne chases to the wing. It's cut back to Charles Cook. Into Shaw. Back to Martin. Into O'Hara. Byrne hacks it away. It's a brilliant clearance. And these lads are scrapping. But this is getting very, very tough. We've got to do something in terms of changes. I'm just not quite sure what. Pittman's going to come off. He's exhausted. It's going to be Regan Thompson. The same goes for Logan Chalmers on the left wing. He'll be replaced by McGrath. Morris will go out to the left and McGrath will give us something in behind. So an inside forward for Colton Morris. The fullbacks are going to drop to exactly that. No more wing-back duties. Fullback on defend, both on the right and the left-hand side. And I don't know for the last one. I really don't. Let's leave it a few more minutes and then we'll think about something. 12 to go. It's Ross County attacking. Lyons got it on the right and we've made the changes. It's going to lead to a goal, isn't it? Charles Cook to Walsh. It happens every time. Rodriguez away to Randall. Into the box to a Doffin. He heads clear. Had a monumental game. Considering he could have been broken by that penalty given against him. There was no real need for it to be given, but he's bounced back. And McPate gets to the byline. Into Colton Morris. Blocked on the line. It's away to McGee. And still we hang on. Still we cling on for a 3-2 lead. We've got a throw on the right with McGee again. To Rodriguez, he's conceded possession, but a Dauphin wins it back. Brilliant play by the centre-half. Been an absolute superstar. Into Regan Thompson! Just over the crossbar. Oh, we can't throw this away, surely. Surely not. They've gone 3 up top, and now we've got to hit them on the counter. It's a throw-in at left-back for Marshall. He's got a chance to go long, instead gives it away. Finds Morris and Byrne though. Marshall over the top to McGrath. Great touch. Skins the centre-half. He's in one-on-one. Kieran McGrath! And he's tipped behind for a corner. We're still not wrapped this game up. I've no idea how. It's Byrne who's taking an out swinging out. 2 minutes plus stoppage time to go. And once we've seen this one out, the time wasting will be on. I mean, Byrne's gone to it of his own accord. Magoma heads it away. We've got to make sure there's not a counter from here. Reed on the left. He's been chased all the way, but he's gone over the top. And a Doffin's there again. What an absolute legend he's been. A Doffin's been a superstar. And we are into 4 minutes of stoppage time, which separate us from the Scottish Cup final. And it's getting a bit too tense for me, this. I didn't expect to have the chance to play for it, but now I certainly don't want to throw it away. 4 minutes to go. All of the time wasting's on. 1 minute remaining. We're counting it down. And there it is. Ross County 2, Dundee 3. And now we find out if it's Celtic or a surprise trip for Livingston into the Scottish Cup final. Despite the penalty woefully given against him by the ref, Hakeem Dauphin was sublime. A deserved man of the match, a stunning performance, and a place in the Scottish Cup final for Dundee. A brilliant start out of the traps, an inspired team. Now let's go and see who we're facing. I mean, Harry Johnson of Sporting Life has summed this up perfectly. Not many people predicted a Scottish Cup final place for Dundee. What about for me? I was playing in Scottish League 1 at the start of the season. My club Luton won their championship game. Dundee win in the Scottish Cup semi-final. And it is Livingston or it is Celtic. And it's going to be at Hampden Park for our first domestic trophy. Well, there is the most inevitable news of the day. It's Celtic who will be our opponents in the final. Every chance we won't win it, but what an experience to get there. So that might change our plans for the end of the season. It looks like we're going to come back for 2 more episodes, the final 2 league games and then the Scottish Cup final. I want to show the final as a standalone showpiece event because it deserves it. It's a wonderful achievement. In season 3, we're playing in a major domestic cup final. I don't know how we've got here, but the Derby and the Hibs game arguably more important because that could, depending on how things are going, wrap up some European football for us. And morale might even be harder because we've got Celtic and Rangers beforehand. We've got Kilmarnock away. And we could be in a spot of bother. But for now, what a wonderful episode. What a turnaround in the second half there. If you did enjoy it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any idea how this has occurred. From where we started the season with our growth and the frustrations. Even just trying to get out of Brechin. And now this. Dundee, 5th in the Scottish Premiership, a Scottish Cup final against Celtic. It does not get much bigger. In season 3, how short is the head coach going to be this year? Is it going to turn into a trophy hunter? Because it looks like we're on course for very big things. If you want to stay along and find out, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases from 2 long-term stories. It's Christmas week as well, so we'll have a few special things on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. But what a way to celebrate the festive season. We won't have an episode on Christmas Day itself, so Boxing Day now is going to be the Scottish Cup final v Celtic. You could not have written it better at the start. But I really do appreciate your support with it. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Please do come and pop along in a live stream where we're managing rivals Dundee United. And of course, you can check out all the playlist links and the podcast channel in the eye above. Loads of football content over there too. And we're on the race to 1,000. So if you're happy to help out and you're able to join along and give us a try, it really would mean a lot. But thank you so much for watching. I have no idea how we've got here, but I'm going to go and have a lie down because that was intense. And I'll see you next time as we chase European football. Thanks for watching.